Hey, hey, hey! It's the Hoops Boys podcast. Welcome in, boys, girls, and hoops heads alike. We have not been canceled yet or censored. We are here, brought to you by your host with the most, James the Jet, and America's favorite bitch-ass white boy, CProc. And Jet, start the people off and tell them what's on your mind.
So what's on my mind? The NBA is a league of extraordinary gentlemen. And somehow, one team managed to get three of the league's deadliest assassins on one team. And as a Knicks fan, I'm very depressed.
Moment of silence. Oh, that's all my man's thinking of. He's just hurting. He's just hurting in the depths of his soul right now.
Yeah.
Well,
we had our only chance, and it's over.
Yep. Aside from the massive momentum switch in New York, in this Big Apple right now, let's talk about what's going on in the rest of the league, what we like and what we don't like. Jet, what is your biggest surprise 1 month into this abridged season?
My biggest surprise 1 month in is the return of the Slim Reaper. He looks like he hasn't lost a step. I watched him destroy a Denver team by himself.
A good Denver team.
A very good Denver team. Well, in theory, they're good.
In theory, yes. Not so much in record.
Yeah.
But.
And then, I mean, his past few performances just been amazing. He's been scoring close to 30 points, if not 30 points every game. He's been passing the ball very well, rebounding, playing defense. You couldn't even tell that he had such a serious injury just a couple months ago. So that really surprised me. I'm really happy to see him back in rare form. And
particularly so with the fact that his running mate that he was actively choosing to go play with has decided to go AWOL on him the last few days.
Yeah. Who knows what he's doing?
Yeah. Partying up with Drake and getting suspended soon. That's probably what it is.
Right.
Well, not officially suspended, but you know what I mean. All right, and then as far as disappointments goes, who are you looking to who are you kind of surprised by how slow they've got out of the gates or how poorly they're playing?
I'm most disappointed by the Wizards. They stink.
This is a mini. This is a mini stank report. This is the full stank report. It's a mini stank report.
This is a mini stank report. They're terrible, and I'm not saying that if they swap John Wall for Russell Westbrook that they're world beaters. I'm not saying that at all. But I feel like they should be better than 2 wins. You know what I'm saying? And they're wasting very amazing games from Bradley Beal. Like, he's been playing out of his mind, trying to win these games, and it's just not working. And now Rusty's hurt on top of that.
Yeah.
So it's just all bad news for them. Free Bradley Beal, free Ryu Hachimura. I'm so sorry. The Wizards are terrible, and they should be way better than what they are.
Yeah, they should not be in the doldrums right now. My surprise, I'm going to play off a sub note in your surprise. My surprise is how poorly the Denver Nuggets have been playing this year.
Yeah.
I mean, Jokic is playing as usual, out of his mind.
Yeah, exactly.
He's putting up a triple double damn near every night. But apart from that, other than that, you are seeing certain flashes. And Michael Porter Jr. has got an injury, or he's been a COVID victim of late. So Michael Porter Jr. is in and out, but he had been playing well to start off the season, and
yeah,
Will Barton coming off the bench looking like a legit 6th man of the year.
Yeah, love Will Barton.
And so like there's definitely some good things coming out of that team, but like why their record is not matching that, I'm really quite surprised by that.
Yeah.
And not entirely sure. I mean, maybe it's just a rough patch they need to get through. Just okay, here's a wall, let's blow through it. Eventually, it'll collapse and we'll be fine.
Yeah,
But so
yeah, I think so.
with everyone playing as well as they are, I think eventually, I think they'll be fine. It's just I'm just really shocked at how poorly they're playing.
I think
However,
they really missed Jeremy Grant.
are we gonna have another Jeremy Grant segment this week? Leave that poor man alone.
They missed Jeremy Grant, what he brought to that team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you might think that was kind of my disappointment, but it's not. My disappointment is the Toronto Raptors. Now I know they're not playing at home, but Siakam is still playing as well as he always has, and Kyle Lowry's not showing his explosive self, but Kyle Lowry shouldn't need to be some explosive player every night. He's got plenty of talent on that team.
Yeah.
Boucher off the bench has been a very good six man for them, and that's another one. I'm very disappointed in them. Denver, I'm just surprised by because they still look good, but Toronto, I'm just absolutely disappointed in because they just look bad.
Yeah. With them losing both Marcus Gasol and Serge Ibaka in free agency, it's really showing, and they gotta trying these makeshift lineups with all the bigs on their team, just trying to figure out something that works. And Van Fleet hasn't been playing that well either, and they need him to play just as good as he was playing last year in order for them to be a playoff team this year.
Right. There's a lot of missing offense from that team, and he's the next man to fill it in.
Yeah.
So I'm just very kind of shocked and awe at them right now. But as far as missing players and missing production, that takes us into our next segment. Injuries. We haven't really been ravaged by injuries, but there's been a couple real significant ones so far this year. And Jet, what's the first one that you've noticed this year? The first couple that you've noticed this year that are going to have a big effect?
The first couple I've noticed this year that's going to have a big effect is one is my main boy, one of my favorite young players, John Morant. He had a grade 2 ankle sprain. That normally takes about like 2.5 weeks to heal. So we should be seeing him back shortly because I think that happened about 2 weeks ago. So hopefully he comes back soon. They definitely need him. I love that team. I love the Grizzlies.
Yeah.
And Darius Garland injured his shoulder. He's going to be out for 6 to 8 weeks. That Cleveland team was surging in the beginning of the season.
Right.
This is one of
had me believing in them. Apparently, I was a little too optimistic about that.
Yeah, CProc was about to get a Cavaliers tattoo.
All right, get
first week.
That wine and gold sword going across my bicep.
Right.
but yeah,
they're gonna.
God.
He's gonna be out for 6 to 8 weeks, and that's really gonna hurt that team because, like I said, they were surging early in the season. They look really good, and but I hope both these players get back well soon and come back and make an impact on their teams.
Right, and especially in Memphis' case, like that team really is struggling to score 100 points without John Morant. I mean, and there was a game they played against. There was a back-to-back they played against the Lakers, and the first game they
fought back.
They had a really competitive first half, but then the Lakers just pulled away from them. I think you watched the second game. I only watched the first game. I think you watched the second game, but
the second game was
dismal.
Yeah,
dismal.
They got whooped on.
Yeah, I mean, as far as Garland goes, I mean that's a significant loss for them as far as sharing the scoring load. I mean, Colin Sexton was playing very well, but he was mainly playing well because they had these two explosive point guards that were doing a lot of production, and all of a sudden now one of them's gone, and that's a lot. It's like what do you expect Kevin Love at 80 years old to all of a sudden score 30 points again?
Right. And Garland was more of the facilitator out of the bunch, out of him and Sexton, because Sexton is a really good scorer, but I don't really see him much as a big facilitator like that.
Correct. Yeah. Exactly. Now, the next injury that I've noticed actually caught me by surprise, as I missed it in the news, was Markelle Fultz tore his ACL and he's out for the season. And
that sucks, man.
Markelle Fultz was playing very well. He was back in the starting lineup where he should be. He just got a big extension, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and Orlando got off to this super hot start, and they're still up there. They're still in the top half of the East.
They're still playing good.
Yeah, they're still playing well. But I mean, Fultz was really performing as a top level catalyst for them, and they filled in Cole Anthony, the rookie, as their starting point guard, and he's been pretty steady, but he obviously it's going to take a while for him to get used to the ropes of the league, and he's not going to be able to display any explosiveness near Markelle Fultz quite so early.
Yeah. So
that was the one that was kind of disappointing to hear, because they were really playing well, and that team's got a lot of young talent. It's that bad to sad to see them lose a big chip like that.
Yeah, and they Orlando definitely they moved on from DJ Augustine and they gave Markelle the keys. So it's like it's sad to see, like, finally he gets to run his own team, and then he gets hurt so early in the season.
Here you go. Oh, there goes the floor.
Right. Yeah, but big shout out to Markelle, man. He's had a hard go out in the league, and he's bounced back every time. I don't see why he won't bounce back from this.
Right. Yeah. And what's our last one? What's our last broken boys to round up on?
The Broken Boys.
Broken Boys. That's a new segment name. I got it.
Broken Boys. You definitely have it. BB.
BB. Took a BB to my patella tendon.
But yeah, my last couple is Spencer Dinwiddie. Another torn ACL this season. He's going to be out for the season, which is big loss for Brooklyn. They're definitely going to need him, especially now. But he's going to come back to a very different team when he gets back on the floor.
Two reasons they am. One, they traded so many players to get the Beard.
Right.
So many significant players. I mean, I guess technically it's only two, but two very significant players that had been there for a while and know the system. But all of a sudden now you basically have lost three players now that have been there a while and all significantly progressing in their careers, and you don't have that production at all from any of them. Yeah. And on top of that, when is Kyrie coming back? I mean, the earliest he can come back is a couple days from when we're recording this episode, which would be Saturday. But that's like when he returns to the team, and then he's got to go through some COVID protocol before he can actually play. So, like, when are you actually going to see him on the floor again? It could be a whole nother week. And by that point, what's his role going to be? Because you put Harden and Durant together for a week, and they're going to remember how to play with each other from the Oklahoma City days.
Yeah. And my second person is Kyrie. We got him on this list because he's not available to his team, and I don't know what's going on with him and how long. Like we said, we don't know when he's going to come back, but hopefully he does come back soon. We don't know if he's studying more about how the earth is flat, or I heard he was doing Zoom calls with politicians. I don't know what's going on with Kyrie.
Right, which is fine if you want to do that, but did you forget what your actual job is?
Right. But yeah, I hope everything is all right with Kyrie and his family, and he gets back to the Brooklyn Nets. And let's see how this thing looks, man.
Yeah, because all the big media entities are promoting the three of them together, and as a viewer, as a fan, you look at the screen, it's like, wait, I see three of them, but one of them's not there. This doesn't seem very genuine.
Right. the big two and two and a possible.
Yes. the big two and an empty jersey.
Oh man.
But anyway, we've got more babbling to talk to you kids about, and we will hit you back on the other side of this break. Please remember, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at HoopsBoysPod, and submit your mailbag questions to hoopsboyspod@gmail.com, and we'll kick around your questions on the show. Be right back after this.
Yes, sir. Hey everybody. Welcome back to the Hoops Boys Pod. It's your host with the most, Jet, and your boy CProc. He got 2 sevens on his chest because he's lucky twice. He has double the luck. And,
double the something.
Double the stank.
Double the stank.
But I want to go back to the past real fast, back to the future, where we made some predictions that may or may not hold true right now. So I'm gonna swing it back to my boy CProc to see if one of his predictions held up or not.
Oh, and not only did one not hold up, one of them most definitely had that double dose of stank. I gotta put myself in the shame grave for a beat and acknowledge the fact that I didn't think a team was going to be able to pony up the type of package it takes to acquire a superstar, and sure enough, someone did. Sure enough, it was someone who is near and dear to the wrong side of my heart and brain. It's the Brooklyn Nets, and they pried James Harden. James gave up half their team back practically. To get the beard, and I will wear the egg on my face. That is definitely something that I got wrong, and I am definitely. But you know what? I'm going to take some solace in the fact that this puts the crosshairs square on Brooklyn to win the championship, because
it does.
Because they just got out of that obligation they had to give all their draft picks to the Boston Celtics, and now they're going to owe them all to the Houston Rockets.
Right. That's like 14 years of no draft picks.
That's kind of crazy. Like that's someone's whole career. That's someone's whole career that you're not going to have your own homegrown player.
Yeah, that's crazy, bro.
And on top of that, you gave up 2 of your own homegrown players, one of which was a very legitimate 6th Man of the Year candidate. You just LeVert. You just send him to Indiana to this already stacked bench, which I'm actually going to be very curious to see how. I'm assuming it's going to be one of the Holiday boys that starts at 2 guard now with Vic gone. But
they're going to start Karras, I think.
I could see that. I could see that. I could see you being right on that. Me personally, I don't think I'd do that because he's used to coming off the bench. He's very effective with that. I think I would keep him there. But at the same time, I could definitely see them going that way and keeping their bench as is. So, okay, yeah. So I wouldn't be surprised either way. I mean, I would certainly like them keep what they've got and just start someone they have. But I could see them start LeVert. And they gave up Jared Allen too, and Jared Allen's someone that it's, you look at Jared Allen playing and you're like, okay, who's this guy? But he's okay, but he's nothing world beater. But he was a guy that did a lot of the dirty work for them.
He doesn't mind getting dirty at all.
Yeah, and
he'll get dunked on. He doesn't care. He's gonna go and contest that shot every time.
He'll give you them hard 6.
I like Jared Allen though. He's a good player. But luckily for them, they got DeAndre just chilling on the bench. You know what I mean? Like,
yes, yeah, and that fro.
And the fro, yeah.
That fro might be in the Hall of Fame class with my beard.
I don't know. You have a pretty amazing beard.
certainly in the class of James Harden's beard. James
First
Harden.
ballot.
Yeah, James Harden. I need a beard off.
Right. I'll bet you work him.
God, he's got some thick on that.
No, he does.
But anywho, Jet, is there anything that you might want to touch base on from a previous lofty claim?
Well, I think the last show I was high on Atlanta Hawks and high on the Knicks, being that the 3 amigos are now in Brooklyn. I don't know if the Knicks are gonna make playoffs. I don't know. After seeing them their last couple of weeks, yeah, we're fighting and we look better than what we have, but I don't know if we're good enough to get an 8th spot now. Like,
yeah, it's gonna be a little bit of a dogfight.
Our division.
Speaking of dogfight, I hear some faithful audience back there.
Yeah. Yeah. Joy Doggy Dog making a noise. Um, and Atlanta, I kind of still feel they still have the potential to make the Eastern Conference Finals because they've been playing without their whole team. Um, yeah, that we looked at just a minute ago. They're 5-5 right now, right?
Yeah,
They started out really strong, and then they've been losing games left and right. But I don't know. I feel like that team is gonna be good. It's been the first like 15, 20 games almost, and
they're missing some pieces.
they're missing a lot of pieces.
Gallo,
Gallo,
I haven't seen Gallo play.
yeah, Gallo hasn't even been on the floor with them yet. And I feel like once he gets there, that offense is just gonna really unlock because they could really play 5 out if they wanted to.
Right. Let's just stretch that floor completely. You can't double because you can't leave anybody.
Right. And then once they start that high pick and roll with Trae Young and he gets to dancing, I don't know what you do. You got to pick your poison. But I still feel like they might make the Eastern Conference Finals, but I'm just not sure the Knicks, man. And yes, just a couple of yesterday, right? We just got the worst news and Knicks faithful. You know what I mean? It just broke our hearts.
Yeah. So
not like Kyrie and KD wasn't enough, but now they have James Harden over there, and
yeah,
I don't know.
Which all three of them is pretty deadly. But even if Kyrie takes his sweet time coming back, just Durant and Harden together, it's gonna be pretty disastrous.
That might be too much. Yeah. Yeah, that might be too much. Could you imagine if it like works seamlessly? Like if it actually works, they're gonna be blowing teams out.
Oh, easily. Oh yeah, if assume that there's enough basketball to go around for both of them. They're both averaging 30 points a game.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you stop that? That's your three. Granted, today's NBA they score more than teams used to back in the day. But if you figure a normal night should be 100 points, 3/4 of that is taken up by two players. Like they're just the two of them together. They're gonna be fine.
Like James Harden's his ability to throw lobs with DeAndre Jordan, that's an offense right there.
They could they could really they haven't really shown that so far, at least. I mean, you've seen more Nets games than I have so far, but
yeah,
they haven't really showcased their transition game too much. But that's a good point. I mean, you break out DeAndre, and then you add in Harden, and all of a sudden you've got this transition element that could be really unstoppable.
And bro, like Kyrie could play off the ball now for the whole game because James Harden could be the point guard. You know what I mean? He's been doing it in Houston for the past 2-3 years.
Right. Yeah. Which is gonna really eat into Kyrie's ego a little bit if he takes too long to come back because James Harden will be primarily on the ball.
Yep. And
especially with no Dinwiddie.
No Dinwiddie. Yeah, he's gonna have the ball in his hands a lot. And KD, he showed when he was on the Warriors that he could play without dominating the ball. You know what I'm saying?
Right. He can move. He can move around and play more of a supportive role and then take over when he needs to.
Yeah, and if he does that with this team, I don't know, man. They're gonna be tough to beat.
Yeah. They I mean, it's really championship or bust.
Yeah.
But regardless of whether they do win one or not, they are going to be damn near unstoppable every night, and it's going to be really hard. And that hurts me. That hurts me.
Yeah, that hurts me a lot too, bro.
I liked it better when they sucked.
Bro, I'm thinking. I was thinking like last night, right, when the news came out, or the night before when the news came out, and then we played them either the news came out and then we played them, and I'm like, yo, this is the only chance we might have.
We're gonna have to beat them.
Yeah.
What happens? We're still down by 20 at one point. I'm like, okay, it's just drag me to the mud right now. Drag me through.
That was
awful.
That was a kick in the teeth, bro. Like that was the nail in the coffin right there for me. I'm just like, it's over. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, pardon our little tangent of us not only calling out our mistakes but also dwelling in our sorrows. We have I know you're all gonna miss the stank report this week. Shed a tear, but it'll be back. It'll be back soon. And Jet's got a burning question he'd like to take on. And Jet, what do you is as great as Jason Tatum is, as big a superstar as he will be in this league for a decade plus. Is he deserving of all the limelight he's been getting?
That's a question that I ask myself a lot. Because I look at Jason Tatum, right, and he's great. Don't get me wrong, and I feel like all the praise that he gets, it's deserving because we've seen him in some games put up some big numbers, hit clutch shots, all across the gambit, right? He's been great. But then you look at one of his contemporaries in Brandon Ingram, and their stats are identical. Jason Tatum was on an All NBA team last year. Brandon Ingram doesn't get spoken about.
The little forgotten man. little forgotten man down in New Orleans that nobody cares about.
Nobody cares about. And I get it. Like, yeah, Jason Tatum is in a big market in Boston Celtics. Like, and he's been given the hype since he came in the league. You know what I'm saying? And he has a great coach. He's in a great situation. He's always been on a good team, right? Like, you can go through the list of players that he's played with. It's a good list. You know what I'm saying? And you look at Brandon Ingram. The best player he's probably played with was LeBron, but it didn't work because they both need the ball in their hands. You know what I'm saying? B.I. is better when he has the ball in his hands.
Yeah. He needs to be alpha.
Yeah.
Of course now he's on a team with Zion, who's maybe the best prospect since LeBron, but at the same time, it's not Zion's team. Brandon Ingram's there first.
Yeah. And Brandon Ingram, he's tough to guard, man. He's a wiry 6'8", put the ball on the floor, he can shoot. He's decent on defense. He passes the ball. Like, he does everything Jason Tatum does, but yet he's not spoken about nearly as often at all.
So what you're saying is Brandon Ingram could be Kevin Durant light.
Yeah. I always felt that way about B.I.
Whereas Jason Tatum has more of especially the way he likes to just hang on the perimeter a lot and shoot. He's got more of a perimeter vibe to him. He's not. He looks more of even though he's taller than a traditional two guard, he's got more of a two guard vibe to him.
Yeah, and I look at even on his team, like sometimes he doesn't even look like the best player on his team at times, right? Like, because look at a player like Jaylen Brown, and everything that he contributes to the game, he scores just as much or even more and efficiently. And it came out like last year or the year before that they don't even call plays for him. He's just
there
playing. Yeah, it's just coming. Like,
make your opportunities on defense. Hit the open shots when you're open. Just be an X on our play chart. When we drop a play,
right.
just be that X, and if you're open, we'll throw you the ball. Yeah.
And it's crazy to me. Jason gets he has a lot of hype behind him, bro. The hype train is on Jason Tatum, for sure. But he is good. I'm not saying he's terrible or anything. He's a great player, great young player. But I feel like give B.I. some love too, man. He's up there.
Taking a lot of the limelight that might be hogging it, ball hogging the limelight.
Right. If you swapped them two, I guarantee it would be the same type of ordeal in Boston at least.
Yeah. Brandon Ingram might be Kevin Durant light in Boston.
Yeah,
it might be because a lot more options in Boston that he can play off and can play off of him.
Yeah.
And Jason Tatum would probably still put up his 25 points in New Orleans, but might not be as inclusive a player.
Yeah, I agree.
Plus I mean the way Lonzo dominates the ball down there. There's the basketball. Sometimes I'm surprised Brandon Ingram puts up points he does because like Lonzo holds the ball so much.
Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with their point guard situation there.
If Lonzo could shoot, it'd be fine.
It would be fine, but they got 2 point guards that can't shoot. Eric Bledsoe can't shoot. His jumper is broken.
Yeah, Eric Bledsoe used to be able to shoot. I don't know what happened, but.
I don't know, man.
Or he used to be able to do
Eric
something.
Bledsoe's a good player.
Yeah.
He's a good player, but I just feel like for that team, they need Lonzo to learn how to shoot. That's what they need. But yeah, that's my my Jason Tatum spiel for the day. Show B.I. some love, man. But yeah, I want to take this time to show love to our social media. Catch us at the Hoop Boys Pod at both Instagram and on Twitter. Come connect with us, show love, and we'll be right back.
Welcome back, boys and girls, hoops heads alike. For our final segment this week, we would like to kick around who are the premier freshmen in the league this year. Jet, who are a couple contenders you think could be in the mix come season's end?
Well, for my first pick, it'll be James Wiseman from Golden State Warriors. He's been a perfect plug and play player for them. You can't even tell that he's a rookie sometimes that he's on the floor. His last game against the Denver Nuggets, he had 18 and 5 and a big dunk over Bol Bol, which was really nice. I honestly didn't know he was as tall as he was because he moves around the floor so well. He's actually 7'1". Did not know that. He blocked shots. He can shoot the three. He's good in pick and roll. And once the Warriors get their full team back, once they get the other Splash Brother, I feel like they're going to be a tough out every night, especially when they get them more integrated in the offense. And for my second pick, I'm going to go with LaMelo Ball. He's like a sleeper pick for me. I love the way that he plays the game. He has like an infectious energy. It's almost like a little kid almost that he always tries to make the most spectacular play, but most times than not, it goes. Like his passing is just like his brothers, but a little bit more like flamboyant. And his jump shot seems to be working. Lonzo seems to never
Brick City.
Yeah, he seems like he's always going to be in Brick City. LaMelo's already looking just as good or better than him. And they had two games back to back against each other where LaMelo balled out on him.
Yeah.
Had a triple double on his brother. So I mean, those are my two picks.
And LaMelo,
the rookie of the year.
We didn't really spend a whole lot of time last episode trashing the Ball Boys, but we trashed them a little bit because we were singing up the praise of the Holiday Boys, and LaMelo's starting to really prove us wrong a little bit.
Yeah, he's balling, man.
Might have to take some egg on the face in a future episode for this.
Yeah, I like what LaMelo's doing. So far this season.
Yeah, and Weissman, he is putting up numbers so far. So we're in Golden State starting to get a little bit of a competitive record back compared to how they stunk up the joint early on. So if they, I think once these young kids get some more minutes, I think they could be back where we really expect them to be. My two potential contenders, I can speak, are Precious. Don't kill me if I get this name wrong. Precious Achiuwa.
That's better than what I would did. I think you're actually right though. Yeah.
The Precious is I love the fact that his name's Precious. It's so hilarious to me.
It's great.
He from the last few Heat games I've seen, he's not too much of a shooter, but he is starting and he can get into the basket. He's getting to the paint. He can finish. He can finish in traffic, and he's got a pro body already. So Precious is definitely someone. I don't think he'll win the award, but I think he'll garner his share of votes, and he'll definitely get on one of those all rookie teams because he is playing very consistently. And then my other maybe contender is someone we touched on earlier in the show, Cole Anthony. He is filling in for Markelle Fultz right now due to injury, and Cole Anthony is he's not doing anything spectacular, but he's playing really steady, and he's displaying a lot of the ability to be comfortable and run an NBA offense, bring the ball to the floor, move without the ball, really look like he belongs and not looks like doesn't look like he's overwhelmed or anything. And Cole Anthony, I think he's gonna get a fair share of votes as well. And then our favorite one, we actually do agree on this, is
Mm-hmm.
a little shooter out of the West Coast called named Tyrese Halliburton, and
Yeah.
I the first couple Kings games, because this was early in the season, like I was wrong on being so optimistic on the Cavs. I'm a little wrong on being optimistic on the Kings ahead of schedule. They dropped back down to 500, which, to be honest,
Yeah.
500 is probably still good for where the Kings probably expected themselves to be. But
I agree.
but it's still not very good. It's not very it's great, and at least from my perspective, what my initial reactions to them were. But that being said, from that point throughout the rest of the season so far, Tyrese Halliburton has really improved every single game,
Yes, yes.
and his shooting touch is very good. I mean, what have you seen? We've at this point we've both watched a handful of Kings games, so
I love the way that he runs the team. He looks like he's been here before. And what is this game 12 of his NBA
yeah,
career? Like
12, 15, something like that.
yeah, something like that. He's been balling out, and we were talking about this earlier. Like the Kings always do well when they draft guards, right? They
Yeah,
had, I mean,
De'Aaron Fox got to watch out.
yeah, you got to watch out. I mean, I don't know if they're gonna build up his stock and then try to move him for something that they may or may not need. But what do you do? Like you got to let Tyrese play. Look at him. He had 19 and 7 against Portland the other night. And
Right.
he was balling. He was balling out. He had more assists than De'Aaron Fox.
Now, this is do you maybe because De'Aaron Fox can also play off the ball pretty effectively.
Yeah,
Is this going to be a situation you think maybe you play them both at the same time and move Buddy
you
Hield,
you could.
or just kind of let him go away eventually? Like, do you just let
I mean, you could do that. You could play them both. I think Tyrese is he's about 6'5". That's about
He's
what.
big, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think Buddy's like 6'4", 6'5". So and you have another playmaker because De'Aaron can play make as well.
Yes.
That would be nice for them. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not at a defensive liability with them on the floor because Tyrese can guard the two and De'Aaron can guard the point guard.
Yeah.
And on offense, you can just let Tyrese do his thing and let De'Aaron play off the ball, and they'll both be pretty effective. So that yeah.
Yeah.
So that we're both on the same page about Tyrese Burton. We think he is the favorite right now, and I think by the at the end of the season, outside of rise out of nowhere from one of the other guys we've highlighted, I think he's going to be the guy standing at the end of the trophy. You?
Yeah. I agree. Yeah. That's my guy, Tyrese. Message.
Messages.
Right now, we're gonna go into our mailbag. We have some burning questions from our subscribers and watchers. Thank you for taking the time out to ask us questions. You ask and we answer. So for our first question from our boy Luca, where do you see? I mean, sorry, who do you see being the leader of the league in the next 5, 10, 15 years? Chase, I'll let you answer first.
I think the easy answer is the easy answer is the source of my T-shirt, Luka Doncic.
Mm-hmm.
Luka from Luka.
From Luca with love.
Yes. Luka asked, we named Luka. So I think he's like definitely another LeBron type where he can dominate a game as a scorer, but he's got this versatile game from a rebounding and distributing perspective as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think if if Portland could ever figure their mess out and be a contender, I'm always a Dame Lillard fan. I think Dame's front and center as well. I mean,
Yeah.
we'd certainly be remiss not to throw the freak in there.
Yeah.
He does have 2 MVP awards.
He does. And a defensive player of the year.
Yeah, and defensive player of the year, and he's pretty young, and he's locked into his team long term. So
Yeah.
Giannis is definitely in the conversation as well, and I'm probably missing somebody, but also from your little opinings section in the previous segment. Jason Tatum and Brandon Ingram, they're definitely up there too. Oh, your boy Trey.
Absolutely.
Your boy Trey.
Trey. I would like to add Ja Morant.
Yes, that's true.
Ja's explosive, man.
Silly me.
Ja's explosive. I love Ja Morant. I wish the Knicks could have got him. Oh, we'd be remiss not to say Jamal Murray and Donovan Mitchell.
The spider.
The spider. I mean, those two, the playoff series. Everybody that watched basketball was tuned into that, and it was just pure fireworks. Even though, and it was a first round, game, and those two took it up to another level. And I feel like these are games that they'll be able to do. They already perform like that on the norm, especially Donovan Mitchell, because he's like the source of offense for that team. And it's I wish they need to get him somebody else that could score, because he needs the help.
Yeah, 50-year-old Mike Conley's not cutting it. Anyway, our next question comes to us from Instagram. Space Case Mulderig. Where do you got Brooklyn? Do we have a battle for New York first round?
We did.
Well, first of all, if we just take a peek at the standings right now, Brooklyn, granted, they're in prime position to do this. They need to make up some ground for a little back and forth start to the season, because they are only in 6th right now.
Okay.
And
so there's hope.
They need to catch up to Boston and Philadelphia and Milwaukee, and actually Indiana as well. So they got some ground to make up to get to that top. And certainly the only way we're getting battle for New York is if they're the 1 seed, because the Knicks aren't getting any higher than 8. That's for darn sure.
Yeah, that's for sure. Let me think. No, I don't see it.
Oh, right? No.
I don't see it, man.
You're not seeing it.
It's my heart is broken.
Yeah. We don't want to talk about the Knicks anymore. We may just ignore them for the rest of the season.
Man.
Jet, let's not be depressed anymore. Pull another one out of the mailbag.
All right. Our next question is from our boy Sausage and Peppers. If you had to pick the perfect basketball player by taking one part from certain basketball players, which parts and skills would you take? The categories are height, ball handling, vertical, 3-point shot, rebounding, grit, clutchness, and tenacity.
I'll tell you right now, for grit and tenacity, and you could even throw, I guess defense isn't something they selected, but defense too. For grit and tenacity, nobody's taking Kevin Garnett's spot away from me.
That's true.
That's Kevin Garnett's the grittiest player I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, I love KG.
Height. I mean, how do we define height? Are we just saying the tallest player, or are we like the player that was the tallest that forced a mismatch, like someone like Magic being 6'9" as a point guard.
Yeah.
So, how do we define height? Because I mean, if height's like height and body size, it's hard not to take LeBron, because he's got the skills of a guard and he can run people over like a Mack truck.
Yeah. Well, let's just, they said perfect basketball player, so let's try to make the most OP basketball player we can make.
And you know what? We've already taken a big man's skill in one category or a couple of categories. So let's say Kevin Durant's height.
That's fair.
Because Kevin Durant's like 6'9", 6'10", 6'11".
Yeah, 7 feet.
Yeah.
7 feet demon.
Yeah.
7 foot demon.
Yeah. Let's take Kevin Durant's height. I like it.
Yeah, I'll go Kevin Durant's height.
We're being a little. Well, actually, that's not true. I was gonna say we're being a little contemporary with these picks, but Kevin Garnett was a little older school.
That's fair. What do you want to keep it? Well, all-time players?
I would like to get a mix. I would like to get a mix. Let's be fair.
All right, so
ball handling.
I'm going Kyrie.
Really?
Yes.
See, I have a hard time not taking anybody but Allen Iverson.
Kyrie is the best person I've seen handling the ball ever.
No, you're right. Uncle Drew.
Uncle Drew is crazy.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Vertical. Ooh, who's the biggest jump out of the gym guy?
I'll have to go with Vince Carter.
I like it. I love Vince. Yeah. I'll take that.
I love Vince. They had a picture. I don't know if everybody's seen it, but there's a picture of him doing his combine when he first got in the league, like the jump challenge, and him doing it at like 40 something years old, and he's still touching the same prongs he was touching when he first got in the league at 40 something years old.
That's insane.
So his vertical is crazy.
It never dies.
It never died. He probably still could be playing right now.
He could be, and I'm so upset we got robbed and only saw him in one dunk contest, 2. Did he play in 2 or is it just the 1?
I'm not sure. That's a good question. I think it might have just been 1.
Yeah, I think so too. We really got robbed from that one.
Yeah.
3-point
shot.
3-point shot. Ooh, that's a tough one.
Easy.
I mean, is it Steph or is it Ray?
I'm going Steph.
Steph's pretty. Steph's shot is pretty, and Steph's shot can be from anywhere. And he's short.
And he's short. And Steph, whatever records Ray Allen has right now, Steph is gonna.
They're all shattered. If he even still has any.
If he ever holds any more records.
I think he might. I could be wrong, but I think he still has the total. But I'm probably wrong. At this point, Steph's gonna. If he doesn't own it now, he's gonna. You're right. You're right on that one. Clutchness.
Rebounding.
Rebound. We missed that one. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
Dorm.
Rebounding.
Wilt. Bill Russell averaged a lot of rebounds too. Bill Russell and Wilt. Bill Russell and Wilt averaged like 20 rebounds a game. Now, granted, that was different era. There weren't really anybody as big as them back then, but.
Did Wilt average 50 rebounds for a season? I think he did that once.
50 rebounds. I don't know. I don't think he averaged 50 rebounds. He
definitely
averaged 50 points.
Okay, yeah. I don't believe those numbers.
They're video game numbers.
Yeah, I can't go.
When I first started getting into numbers and stats, like I looked up his career numbers and I was like, that's not real.
Yeah, this can't be real.
No, it's not real at all.
What was he doing to y'all?
Was he like this tall and everyone else is like down here? Or is he just like putting his hand up? It's like, all right, that's a rebound.
He's just like this at the basket, just throwing the ball at the rim, just catching it. It's like, oh yeah, that's 50 rebounds. All right, score.
Is that he was doing that Bobby Sura fake triple double before it was a thing?
Yeah, like, I'm not. Nah, I respect Wilt and everything, all the history and the unicorn numbers and all that. I respect that, but that's not realistic to me. It's no footage, like, you know what I mean, like.
Yeah, that's just a video game.
Right.
So Big Ben.
Big Ben was a good rebounder.
Big Ben and Big Ben did that being a third shorter than everybody, third height shorter than everybody else.
Kevin Love was a good rebounder.
Kevin Love was a good rebounder. Throw them bows.
Yeah.
Throw them bows.
He had a couple 30 and 30 games.
Yeah. Yes. And what's the next one? Clutchness. That's the last one.
Carmelo Anthony.
Ooh. Over Kobe? Over MJ?
I'm going Carmelo Anthony.
Wow.
Or Kobe.
I mean, when it comes to clutch, I can't not say either Kobe or Jordan. I just can't do it.
I think Jordan has hit bigger shots because in the offs, right? He did in the playoffs.
Yeah.
But the volume of clutch shots, Melo had like 5 last year in the bubble.
But that's just last year. And that's just in a bubble.
Exactly.
That's just in a bubble. I gotta think all the time. We do this all the time. The perfect player discussion is not someone just based off of current memory.
All time, all time.
Yeah.
Carmelo's clutch numbers he has the best numbers, guaranteed.
All right. Well,
Like field goal percentage. Yes.
All right. Well, let's. I respect you trying to get some responses out of the people, because hopefully I'll put this up on YouTube and we'll get some heat for that.
Yeah.
All right.
No,
Do it.
I employ everybody. Please check the numbers.
Light us-
look at numbers. Go check.
Light us up.
Numbers.
Light us up. Light us up. And our last question comes from Don Lips on YouTube. Don Lips. Nets, Bucks, Raptors, Celtics, Pacers, Heat, Sixers. For those playing along at home, that's 7. Means Knicks would likely get in as the 8th seed, and that's if they beat out the Hawks and Hornets for that spot. That ain't going to be easy. Well, first of all, obviously he's trashing on your take of the Knicks making the playoffs. This is becoming a consistent theme in this episode. Maybe we should talk about the Knicks at all next episode. Save ourselves the despair.
First of all, take the Raptors out of there. They suck.
Yes. There's really not one spot. There's really not one spot that the Knicks are fighting. There's really two, because
there's two.
The Raptors they're just playing like absolute dog feces.
Right.
Well,
dog feces.
Dog feces. Let's look at the East right now. We got Boston.
Yeah,
they're not going away.
They're not going away.
Second place is Philly. They're not going away.
They're not going away.
Third place is Milwaukee. Not going away.
They're not going away.
Fourth place is Indiana.
They're going to be there.
They're going to be there. They're not going away.
Yeah.
Fifth place, Orlando. Orlando's played well.
They're going to be good. Yeah,
they're going to be good. And I'll tell you something. I don't know when Aaron Gordon really learned to shoot, but my word, can he shoot now?
They're trying to. They were talking about they were trying to move him.
I thought, though they shouldn't now. Don't move him now.
Yeah,
I thought he was going to be a more polished version of Josh Smith for the longest time, but he's got a jump shot now. That boy got a jump shot.
Hey, shout out to Aaron Gordon, man. Keep it up.
Yeah. 6th spot is Brooklyn, which they're not going to be 6th, but they're certainly going to be in the mix still.
Yeah, that 6 spot's taken.
Yeah, and then you've got Atlanta, and then you got Atlanta and Charlotte.
Charlotte, I don't believe.
Charlotte, I don't know how to interpret them. I really don't. I don't know how to interpret Charlotte, because they're playing well, and they've got a good mix of players, but you're right. Like, do we believe that this is the year they actually get in? Because we've been waiting for the Hornets to be good for 3 or 4 years now. At least 3 or 4 years. Well, probably 3 or 4 years. That's probably right.
And they got a lot of guards too.
Yes, and a lot of guards. That they're Boston South.
And I don't know how they match up against like the good teams in the East. Like, what happens when you go against Philly? Like, what happens when you go against the Celtics? Are y'all gonna get blown out, or are y'all gonna compete?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a lot of confidence in Cody Zeller locking down Joel Embiid. Cody's stuck around for a long time. He's obviously is a respectable pro, but Joel Embiid. Do I even need to defend that? I mean, come on.
Right.
You're right.
He said last year he was the best. He said last year he was the best player in the league, hands down.
As long as you know what,
he's one of them.
If his head's on, we left Joel Embiid out of our face of the league answer. Damn.
Yeah, we did. We forgot about Joel. Joel's in that, and Joel's in there for sure.
And sorry, Sausage and Peppers. Oh, that was Luca. Sorry, Luca. Joel Embiid is in there.
Yeah.
If his head's on right, I mean, he's like, he might be the last real center.
Yeah.
He might be the last real center that we ever see. ever.
Let's see what happens with James Wiseman and my boy out in Phoenix.
Oh, DeAndre Ayton.
Yes. Yeah.
He, you know what? He's not like. he's not like doing anything crazy right now. Like I'm still waiting him to have that breakout where he's unstoppable, but he's playing well. He's playing well. He just doesn't. He just has a superstar vibe to him. Like I'm seeing Booker. I'm seeing Devin Booker running around and doing his thing and playing off Chris Paul fine. And DeAndre Ayton, he's getting his numbers, but he doesn't. I mean, maybe it's because it's Booker's team and he's the alpha dog, and Ayton has to take a backseat to that. I don't know, but
yeah.
I mean,
we'll see. I think CP is gonna have him in the gym working on his game, so he could be unstoppable.
Yeah.
CP makes bigs in this league. We know that.
He does.
Sure. He made who he made?
Tyson Chandler. Tyson Chandler was on the scrap heap.
Blake and DeAndre.
Blake, yes, yeah. DeAndre was a transition machine because of Chris Paul.
Clint Capella. He got Clint Capella paid. So I mean, I think Ayton's gonna be just fine, man.
Yeah,
he's gonna be just fine over there.
He's
in good hands.
I would like to see him. I would like to see him out and running more, and maybe that's not his game. And maybe Chris Paul is too advanced in years now to get out and run himself. But I would like to see Ayton get out and run a little bit because that's something missing from his game that could be really take him to another level.
Yeah, that's it. He could get an easy 6 points just running the floor.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, that was our mailbag. Proof that we get you kids onto the show when you reach out to us. So write us again, hoopsboyspod@gmail.com, or find us on social media, hoopsboyspod on both Twitter and Instagram. Leave us a comment, add us, call us out, tell us we're idiots, whatever you want. We no publicity is bad publicity. We like to hate we like to hate as much as we like to love.
Hey man.
Take
comment's a good comment.
Exactly. Take us away, Jet.
Well, that's it for this week's show. Thanks for kicking it with us. It's your host with the most, Jet, and my boy CProc. Catch us in the next 2 weeks for the next show. Hopefully the return of the Stink Report. Once again, it's your boy Jet. It's the Hoop Boys Pod.
Fade away.
Fade away. Oh. Kobe.